Hi, hello, my dear students. Welcome back to Neat with Kiran sir. So we are on the topic morphology of flowering plants. So here we are going to solve with the MCQs, that is multiple choice questions based on the chapter morphology of flowering plant. So before that, I'm going to request you all kindly subscribe to my channel, that is Neat with Kiran sir, and click on bell icon. We'll get a regular updates on the videos with Neat with Kiran sir. Okay, so we'll begin with the MCQs. First one. So rearrange the following zones as seen in the root in a vertical section and choose the correct option. First I will draw the root here. So here it is a root cap. So it is zone of meristematic, then zone of elongation, and last one zone of maturation, where we find the root hair. So here they given the options here. First I will write out the different parts here. So here the root hair zone, that is he call it as A. Then zone of meristematic he call it as B. Then the root cap he call it as C. Then zone of maturation he call it as D. And zone of elongation he call it as E. Then how can we rearrange that? Is C, B, E, D, A, or you can say A, D. So here it is option A, that is C, then B, that is zone of maturation, then E, zone of elongation, then root hair, and last one we'll go with the zone of maturation. So here it is option A. Next one. So in an inflorescence where the flowers are borne laterally in an acropetalar manner, so the position of young flower bud in the flower axis is. So here in an inflorescence where the flowers are borne laterally in acropetal. What do you mean by acropetal? Older at the base, younger at the apex. The position of the youngest flower bud is. The position of the youngest flower bud is. So here they are given lateral. Okay, they are given lateral. So here when I talk about lateral, here we find the younger, older. Here we find younger. So here we call it as a distal. Distal nothing but base. So here at the base we are going to observe the older flower. Question in an inflorescence where the flowers are born lateral and acropetal. Acropetal andre younger at the apex, older at the base. Okay, then the position of the youngest flower bud ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇನಂತಾರೆ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್, ಇದೇನಿದು ಲ್ಯಾಟ್ರಲ್, ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಯಂಗೆಸ್ಟ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ number 3. So here the mature seeds of a plant such as gram and peas possess no endosperm because. So here when I talk about the endosperm, the seeds are basically divided into two types. One is endospermic seed and second one non-endospermic seed. So here when I talk about endospermic seed, they contain endosperm after the maturity also. For example, you are all the members of family Poaceae, or can say that is cereals, the wheat, jawar, the maize, the castor, all they're having endosperm. Similarly, a member belong to the family Fabaceae such as grams, pea, bean, they don't possess any endosperm, hence they are called as non-endospermic or non-albuminous seed. So is it the endosperm is completely absent or not at all produced? So look at the option. Why they are called or why they don't possess any endosperm? Question. Look at the option A. These plants are not angiosperm. It is completely wrong because these star belongs to the angiosperm, the family Fabaceae. Then there is no double fertilization in them. It is also not possible. Since they are angiosperm, they have to exhibit double fertilization. Then only we are going to observe the formation of endosperm. Endosperm is not formed in them. It is also not correct because if they are exhibiting double fertilization, endosperm is a mandatory structure should be produced. Then what is the exact reason? That is option D. Endosperm get used up by the developing embryo during the seed development. Then the answer will be why these beans or member of family Fabaceae don't possess any endosperm in the matured seed. It is because the endosperm which is produced will be consumed by developing embryo. Hence it is option D. Next one. Root developed from the parts of the plant other than radicle. Read carefully here. Other than radicle. If they are produced from radicle, then we are going to call it as taproot or fibrous root or nodular root. So when I talk about the other than radical, generally we are going to call it as what? The adventitious root. Okay, next one. Venation is a term used to describe the pattern of arrangement of, okay, it is a mode of arrangement of leaves on a stem. Hence it is, veins and veinlets on a leaf lamina, that is called as venation. That is option C. Veins and veinlets in a leaf lamina, that is option C. Then number 6. Endosperm, product of double fertilization in angiosperm, is absent in the seeds of. Okay, endosperm, a product of double fertilization. Yes, of course, the product of double fertilization in angiosperm is absent in the seeds of. Andre, they given an example where the endosperm should be absent. In the coconut, the white kernel or fleed, the tender coconut, we call it as endosperm. The maize, the finely powder, that is what you call starch, that is nothing but endosperm. In castor, they are having endosperm, but in case of orchids, they do not possess any endosperm. Okay, so here the right answer is the orchids which do not possess any endosperm. Okay, next one. Many pulses of daily use belong to the family. Take the correct answer. When I talk about the source of pulses, okay, when I talk about the source of pulses, please remember the family Fabaceae. If they are source of cereals, okay, if they are source of cereals, we'll go with the family Poaceae. They are nothing but cereals. Okay, cereals anta bandre, ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ we'll go with the family Poaceae. If they ask ಬೇಳೆಗಳು, that is pulses ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ we'll go with the family Fabaceae. Next one. The placenta is attached to the developing seed near. The placenta is attached to the developing seed near, that is called as chalaza. Okay, so here that is called as chalaza. So here when I talk about, look at the seed. Okay, so here this is, we call it as the stalk of the seed, and I call it as a placenta here. So for that you have to remember that is called as, so here an oval, on the oval anta tilkodri, so that will going to develop into seed. So this is, we call it as a hilum, that is junction between the stalk of the oval and the body. So here it is attached to the placenta as developing seed near, that is called as the chalaza. So that is option D. Next one. Which of the following is a plant used to extract blue dye? So here when I say blue dye, so it is a plant called as Indigofera, belongs to the family Fabaceae, that is option B, Indigofera. Okay, next one. Match the following and choose the correct option. So in the column A, they are given some part, and in the column 2, they are given their function. So when I talk about the first one, aileron layer, so here it is nothing but a nutrition. I can say it is a nutrition. So I will call it as A2. Then parthenocarpic fruit, they formed without fertilization. Then when I talk about oval, okay, when I talk about oval, they are develops into seed. When I talk about endosperm, they are the result of double fertilization. Then it is option B, that is A2, B1, C4 and D3. So here it is option B. Okay, next one. Which of the following is a true fruit? Okay, which of following is a true fruit? So look at the options here: apple, pear, cashew nut and coconut. So when I talk about pear, okay, it is a false fruit. When I talk about cashew nut, it is also an example for false fruit where it develops from the thalamus. Apple is also an example for false fruit. Then which one is true fruit? Here it is coconut. Okay, coconut consisting of epicarp, mesocarp and stony endocarp. So here it is true fruit. When I talk about apple, So apple consisting of what? So it is a thalamus is edible, which is modified here. In case of cashew also, the thalamus is modified, and this is the actual fruit, and it is a false fruit, hence it is option D. Next one. Sweet potato is a modified. Sweet potato is a modified. So when I say sweet potato, don't get confused the potato term here. Sweet potato is a nothing but a root. Please remember. When I talk only potato, it is a stem. So sweet potato is a modified root. So here, since they are appearing from the nodal region, hence they are adventitious root. Okay, sweet potato is a modified adventitious root meant for storage of reserved food material. Okay, next one. Coconut is a fruit. So coconut fruit is, so when I talk about the different types of fruit, so here coconut is an example for fruit called as drupe. So what is drupe? So remember, when I talk about fruit, it has epicarp, endocarp and mesocarp and endocarp. So remember, in a drupe, if the endocarp is hard or stony, the example is the hard shell inside the coconut. ನಾವೇನು ತೆಂಗಿನ ಚಿಪ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ, that is the endocarp. ಅದು ಹೆಂಗದೆ hard stony ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, drupe. If all the three are edible in nature, epicarp, endocarp and mesocarp are edible in nature, then they are called as berry. The best example is tomato. Okay, when I talk about capsule, okay, try to remember the groundnut seed. Okay, groundnut ಶೇಂಗಾ ನೆನ್ಪು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾಟನ್ ನೆನ್ಪು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ರಿ. So where the capsule nothing but which has more the margin, the fruit opens in a margin, ಅದು ಒಡಿತದೆ, margin ಒಳಗಡೆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಓಪನ್ ಆದಾಗ, so that is called as capsule. Then nut ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ the hard outer covering of the fruit which do not open at all, fruit which do not dehisce, okay, which do not undergo dehiscence on its own, hence it is called as nut. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೀಗ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಎಂಡೋಕಾರ್ಪ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಬೆರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮೂರು ಎಡಿಬಲ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಎಪಿ ಮೀಸೋ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಂಡೋಕಾರ್ಪ್. ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಸುಲ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ತನ್ನಿಂತಾನೇ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ನಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ತನ್ನಿಂತಾನೇ ಅದು ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ 4 ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ರೂಟ್, ಹೆನ್ಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಕೋಕೋನಟ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು drupe. Okay, next one. Plant which produce characteristic nematophores and show vivipary belongs to. So here first we'll talk about nematophore. Nematophore are the root which grow vertically upward and found in the mangrove or halophytes, which are meant for the respiration, hence they are also called as breathing root. ಅವಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ಬ್ರೀದಿಂಗ್ ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ವಿವಿಪ್ಯಾರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗ್ರೋವ್, ಸೊ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಫ್ರೂಟ್. ಸೊ when I talk about fruit, it consisting of seed. So in case of mangrove, when I say vivipary, giving birth to the young one. So in case of the mangrove plant, the seed will germinate when they are inside the fruit. Okay, the seed will germinate when they are inside the fruit, hence this condition we are going to call it as vivipary. So here the nematophore and vivipary are belongs to what? The halophytes. When I talk about mesophyte, they are present in optimum amount of water. Hydrophytes, they are completely inside the water. So when I say halophyte, they are growing in saline concentration, saline condition, where the roots are going to modify into nematophore, and they have a special character that is called as vivipary. So that means the seed will germinate inside the fruit. Once the seeds are germinated, the fruits are fall in the soil, they are going to germinate into a new plant that is called as vivipary. So I will stop here. I will continue with next video with remaining MCQs. Once again, my dear student, kindly subscribe and click on bell icon. Will get a regular updates on NEET with Kiran sir. Okay, thank you.